Hi everyone, this is Sweta and I'll be presenting a lesson in science for class 8. Okay, so in front of me I have two books. You can see that. So you see this book is little heavy and this is a little thin book. Okay, now what I do is I apply the same amount of force in both the books. Okay, so let's do it. So what did you see? I said I applied the same amount of force. Okay. But this heavier book, okay, it moved a small distance, but this lighter book, it moved a little longer than this, okay. So why do you think this happened, okay? Because the size of the book, if you see, is almost same, but the weight is more for this heavier book, okay. So the reason behind this is nothing but friction, okay. So this is our topic for today, okay. So what is friction, okay? Now when I said that when I applied the force, this book moved, okay, but it stopped after some time, okay. If in an ideal condition, okay, what would have happened? It could have moved for a more longer time, okay. So we can understand that there is a force which is trying to stop this book, okay, from moving, okay, and same case with this, but the force is little lighter here, okay. So this is nothing but the force of friction, okay. Now what is friction? Friction is a force which acts in a direction opposite to the direction of motion, okay. So let's draw a diagram, okay. So this is our surface and on this the book was kept, okay. So this was the book which was kept on the table, okay. So the direction of motion, so let me write, this is the book, okay, and this is the table, okay. So what is the direction of motion? So this is the direction of motion. Okay. Now the force of friction, okay, it acts opposite to the direction of motion. So that means if this is the direction which the object is moving, my force of friction will move in this direction. Okay. So this is the direction of force of friction. Okay. So if I want to sum it, I can say that a force of friction is the force which opposes the direction of motion. Now, we have to understand what are the two factors, okay, on which this force of friction is dependent. Now, let's see this stone, okay. Now, if you see this stone, okay, if you touch this stone, okay, you can see that the surface is really very rough, okay. So, I am keeping it on the table, okay. Now same thing, I have kept this book on the table, okay. Now if I move, I am applying the same amount of force, okay. So it moved here, it did not even move in the first stance, okay. So what is happening? So the first thing is that this stone is really very heavy, okay. And second thing is that the surface is really very rough, I can feel it. You see this, it is very smooth and this is very rough. So actually when we look under microscope, okay, any surface, okay, so you can see that even smooth surface will look something like this, okay, and if it is like a surface like a stone, okay, then it will look something like this, okay. So there are two factors which affects the force of friction. One is the nature of the surface, and second is the weight of the object. So that means if the surface is rough, the force of friction will be high. And if the weight of the object is also more, the force of friction will be high. Okay. So that means in today's class what you learned is what is force of friction and what are the factors affecting it. Thank you for watching this. Have a nice day.